So you're a Scrum Master on a team, and you've got this team, they have no idea what they're doing with Scrum, and it's your responsibility to teach them. But, just sitting there with a PowerPoint can get a little old. So let's talk about some more innovative techniques that we could use as Scrum Masters to train up our teams and the people around us that need to understand and use Scrum. What do you guys got?
First thing that comes to me is I find that learning takes place better when you're actually learning experientially. When you're trying to solve a problem, one of our classes that we teach, the APS, is all about this. You learn Scrum by using Scrum. So rather than just vomit a bunch of information at people, you can set up a small challenge, right? This could be something very, very simple, like, putting together a PowerPoint deck or, solving some real but small limited challenge in your organization using the techniques of Scrum, like getting to done increments instead of having this big, massive piece of work. So if you can use the ideas of Scrum and to solve a real problem and give them experience, how to break down problems and self-manage and organize a backlog, things like that, I think the learning will be solidified a lot more deeply.
The technique I was going to suggest is similar to experiential, immersive training techniques, which takes a very calculated approach to here's the journey of the learning from start to finish. But as we attack each component, that's going to be a building block for the next thing you learn. So instead of maybe taking one thing that we're hoping to get people to experience, and not saying experiential learning is isolation, but we're taking them through a journey from like a newbie in this journey to like, wow, you have now got 6 months under your belt, having learned these components and having seen with repetition and empirical evidence these things actually work or not work. And then we've been able to inspect and adapt as you've packed on the new knowledge pieces. So what's nice about that is you can actually bring in real world things into your training environment. So if you've got a product backlog, you can bring in the real broken product backlog as part of your example in your immersion learning. You can also do the same thing with some of the team examples and conflicts. You're not doing case studies, you're doing real world ones. We have your actual team. We have the actual things we're dealing with. So I like this immersive learning technique of getting us from a starting point to predictable outcomes, but over a long period of time where we can see these things build on each other.
Okay. I mean, the one that I'd like to go to is find the impediment. So put a situation to your team, complicated situation where you've got a lot of things that are going wrong, and see if they can't identify the impediments that, one, they can solve on their own and don't need someone's help, but two, the ones where it doesn't make sense for them to be the one to remove those impediments, and it might be useful to involve the Scrum Master. For example, you're waiting on a piece of hardware from IT procurement. Is that an impediment? Is that an impediment the Scrum Master needs to get involved in? Or is that an impediment the team can just maybe get on the phone and say, hey, IT procurement, we put in this request like 6 weeks ago. Do you guys have an update? That might be something that easily a Scrum team can just make a quick phone call on. And why is this useful? Because the Scrum Master is not your garbage collector. They're not your mom. They're not your nanny. They're not there to do every single thing you just don't feel like doing. They're there to help you get unstuck. And it's sometimes faster just to unstuck yourself. So if you can, remove the impediment yourself. If you can't, get the Scrum Master involved. But you got to know the difference as to when. So that's mine.
I'll throw another one on the pile. A lot of teams struggle with time boxing. There's time boxing all over the place in Scrum. The daily Scrum is time box of 15 minutes. Every event in Scrum has a time box, and you have to finish by that time box. And that can be really hard for some people to get their heads around. And so sometimes, if we have a discussion, a meeting, an event, I'll break it down even further. We do this in our Scrum training classes too, right? We have exercises that take 5 minutes, and that's not that long for a team to solve a problem. But getting used to, okay, I have a limited amount of time. I have to get to something valuable. I can't just continually push the boundaries and just say, oh, well, we need 5 more and 5 more and 5 more. Like, start practicing using small time boxes so the bigger time boxes make sense. Especially making sure that you have something valuable at the end. You don't just have a half-baked discussion or an idea or a drawing or a plan. Like, okay, what we were able to get to in this short period of time was this. We can build on it later, but this is valuable as it is. Like, start embedding that on the micro level, so at the macro level, it makes more sense.
I've got one more strategy, one more technique here. And I got to give credit to a handful of people. So we were at one of our face-to-face events, and we explored the idea of role-playing games and training. And my wife, Maggie Schoonover, so shout out to her, she actually ran this experiment at the university teaching Scrum with college students. And what was incredible about this experience is it was able to tie the learning with an actual story and characters, and all that mapped together for a full whole world experience. When they got done with their course, they could literally play back every stage of the learning with storytelling. Plus, they could feel it with their characters. So it's not for everybody, but I'm telling you what, I bet you haven't tried it yet, because I only know of one team who ever has. But if you want to take things to the next level and try something innovative, that could be maybe your jam. So role-playing games, gamify the training experience. It will connect that learning pretty much permanently.
Click the thumbs up to let us know you like the video. Subscribe if you'd like more of our videos in your feed, and maybe even hit that bell to get notified when we've got more videos for you.
Sometimes YouTube notifications don't actually go out and you won't be notified, so we've solved this problem. Click the link in the description to join our exclusive mailing list so we can send you an email every time one of our newest videos comes out. You'll be glad you did.